dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
After an absolute slugfest at round one of the playoffs, we now come to Talladega in the ARCA car for race number 2 of round 1 of the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight for this one. We are cutting heads tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and the points battle is insane. A couple guys in must-win situations coming into tonight after missing last week, and I see a packed field tonight here at the granddaddy of them all. One of the more difficult cars in the drafting situations. You're not allowed to bump draft in these cars and really get away with it like we see in the trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Cup cars on a normal basis, because the front bumper and the rear bumper do not line up in this car. This is going to be one for the ages, that's for damn sure. 68 degree ambient air temperature, partly cloudy skies, the track temperature cooling off a little bit as practice comes to a close, and we go into single lap qualifying. 94 degree track temperature, as that is the 99 of last week's winner, James Lowe. Going to be one of the first ones to roll it. There's Jimmy Green rolling it. As we are going to bring up some qualifying scenarios for you here. Dusty Burkhardt, Jimmy Green, James Lowe all rolling. Chris Worrell out on track right now as well. Handful of guys electing to have later start times. And we are going to take a quick look here at last week's winner. That is, of course, James Lowe. Tumultuous week for the 99 team. Already cinched a berth in round number 2. Looking to play spoiler here tonight. Chris Worrell, purple in Sector 1. So that's going to be something to see. As Lowe going to be the first one to actually take the green. Good head of steam for the 99 tonight. A little bit different look than we're used to seeing on that Sim Labs Chevy. Normally we see him in something shaded blue. Tonight running the black and white, and I'm kind of digging it. Good head of steam down the super stretch here on the backstretch at Talladega. And again, these are the old Gen 4 cars you basically would refer to them as. Now used in iRacing as the ARCA Series car. As Lowe going to be the first one to post a time. And immediately gets Josh Carver, jumps up to the point immediately in that Stars and Stripes Budweiser ride. Dusty Burkhardt finishing a run. Brian Tarnowski out on track in the 28. Carver, Burkhardt, Green currently showing the way. As I am looking for, and I don't see it. Marcus Adams, defending series champion, goes quick time in one of the lone Dodges here tonight. Rocking the SRT colors. Brian Tarnowski going to go fourth quick. Greg McConey out on track right now. A little bit different look for McConey as well. But what a time by Marcus Adams, 53.06. That is a gap and a half right now. Clear by over a tenth over Josh Carver currently. As Carver, Burkhardt, Tarnowski, Green, Worrell, Logan Rhodes, Joe Gautier, and James Lowe, the only 9 drivers to have taken time so far. Time quickly ticking off here as we only got about a minute left. So if you're not out on track already, you're not going to post a time as Nick Wing jumps up to fourth quick. McConey coming across out of turn number 4 now into the tri-oval. Good head of steam for McConey. Should put him top 5. Across the stripe. 5th quick for McConey as the last car to post a time is going to be this man, Ed DeBoer, in the 24. Through 1 and 2, 30 seconds left. He might not get this lap in. And it definitely does not look like he's going to be able to do so. There's only 20 minutes left on the clock, and he still has half a track to get to. And time is going to run out for DeBoer. As bear with me one quick second, folks. I do need to restart SDK because it is not playing nice with me. Live timing and scoring. As that is it. 75 laps of scheduled distance here tonight. One fast repair in their pocket. Let's take a look at tonight's starting grid. Starting up on the point is going to be, there he is, defending series champion Marcus Adams. He's going to be joined with Josh Carver. Dusty Burkhart and Nick Wing rolling off in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Greg McConey and Brian Tarnowski. Jimmy Green and Chris Worrell rolling off in row number 4, with row 5 going to Logan Rhodes and Joe Gautier. James Lowe and Shane Posey going to be rolling off in row number 6. Row 7 is going to give us Ryan Decker and Ed DeBoer. Brian Chu and Adam McKinney going to roll off in row 8. Row 9 going to Dave Hoitzma and Richard Mulagani. Jason Papp and Jonathan Christian going to roll off in row number 10. Starting shotgun on the field in 501 is going to be Brandon Wilson. Only 11 cars taking time, so 12th through 21st are lined up via their iRating. As we are going to go down to the starting grid, just waiting for a few last-minute stragglers. As Adams finally out on track. There he is. As Adams, a little bit of connection issue. Jumps back to the pit, gets back out on track, and we're just waiting on his teammate in the 6 and the 501 of Wilson. There is Worrell. Wilson not going to grid up, it looks like. He is not. Brandon Wilson electing to pit start here tonight. As field starting to form behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. I do want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat here tonight. Jackie Rhodes pulling for her boy Logan. Miss Vicky Copeland pulling for Jason Papp. I want to thank both you ladies for joining us. And if you haven't done so already, folks, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know you really like what you're seeing, and let us know who you're rooting for. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver throughout the night. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, as we are fast approaching 2,500 subscribers, and I never would have thought that was possible. Thank you all so much for making us a part of your evening. Marcus Adams going to have the button as, again, 75 laps of scheduled distance here tonight. 70% fuel fill. Which means we're looking for a pit window right around 20 to 25 laps. We do want to mention on this Memorial Day weekend that we do recognize the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we do enjoy, one of which being our favorite iRacing racers. But, it's amazing that we have so many brave men and women that are willing to write a check up to and including the cost of their own life to defend the freedoms that we hold so dear. And hold those people in your hearts as we move into Memorial Day weekend. Pace car is off. Marcus Adams brings them into the restart zone. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab a hot dog and a beer. It's time to get it on at Talladega. Race fans, it's showtime! Adams getting a good getaway as that is the 33 of Josh Carver getting a good shove from Nick Wing on the top side as the 69 of Burkhart working with Adams right now. Adams, one of those ones that he's not in a must-win situation, but he needs a good points finish tonight to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Carver with a nose out front on the top side. Nick Wing all over his back bumper right now as they got Brian Tarnowski up there on the second lane with him. The 69 of Dusty Burkhart was looking to go up to try to help his teammate Carver. Right now stuck on the low side as trying to cut the run on the top side. Drag racing. We've got a third lane already starting to form up. That's the 6 of Worrell and the 3 of Decker trying to make the third lane work. Here comes Nick Wing, as Wing is going to lead that lap. 3 wide already here at Talladega. You can get away with this for the most part as long as everybody's minding their P's and Q's. As Worrell giving Wing all he can handle right now down the back straightaway, giving a good shove to the 90. As Wing is now clear, it's going to drop all the way down to get in front of the 33 of Carver. That's going to let Wing have a shot with Decker giving him a shove on the top side. And here comes the cavalry, as that's Greg McConey has already gotten to the top side as he's in the draft of his 2 teammates right now on the top side. Nick Wing kind of trying to play blocker right now on the low lane. Worrell going to lead that lap. All important bonus point for both those drivers tonight, as Worrell going to drop all the way down to pick up Adams. Oy. These guys trying to play nice right now as that's Wing, Decker, and McConey stem to stern on the top side. And they've got Decker and Gautier up there with them. Worrell now leads the low side, though. All important bonus point, and we're already under caution. Looks like John Christian going for a ride in the 36. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened there. And we are going to back that up just a little bit more. Bump draft gone wrong, it looked like. Let's back that up a little bit more. There is Christian on the top side. Gonna get a good run here down the back straightaway. He's got good drafting help in front of him, and he's going to get one hellacious toe. 195 miles an hour down the back straightaway. Going to try to make some moves here, and they're not going to go the way he wanted. Getting hemmed up there, tries to make the dive down. Unfortunately, James Lowe already there. Lowe has absolutely nowhere to go. Can't jump on the binders that quickly. And the 36 just turns himself off the nose of the 99. So that is going to put us under the caution right now. Worrell going to lead the way. Chris Worrell, Marcus Adams, Nick Wing, Ryan Decker, Dusty Burkhart, Greg McConey, Josh Carver, Brian Tarnowski, Jimmy Green, and Logan Rhodes round out your top 10 as we are getting ready to put lap 4 in the books. Behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Spurloco joining us in the chat. As we see some takers coming down pit road already. Looks like we are going to be getting some fuelage going on here. I wouldn't expect anybody to take tires. Should be just fuel only. As Marcus Adams and Brian Tarnowski and Jason Papp all electing to stay out. And there they are up there. Again, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of the iRacing East Series. There is Jason Papp, running the Minecraft car. New look for Papp tonight. Decker going to win the battle off of pit road. And just as I say that, I thought we were going to see fuel only from a lot of guys. We did see 4 in fuel for quite a few drivers. Carver, McConey, Green, Rhodes, Gautier, Posey, DeBoer, McKinney, Hoisma, Christian. Worrell staying in pit road a little bit longer. He's going to be starting at the tail end of this piece. As there is the 3 of Ryan Decker. Rocking the old Tony Stewart Old Spice paint scheme on that car. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And there is the fighter plane driven by Logan Rhodes. And like I said, it's Air Force being repped tonight on the 14. Again, hats off to all the men and women in the United States military. And we do keep those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in our hearts and thoughts and prayers this week. As we should be going 1 to green this time by. Nick Wing coming back down pit road to pack that Camel 90 as full of fuel as he could possibly get it. As that is going to get Brian Tarnowski on the top lane. As, yep, there go the lights on the pace truck. Adams, Tarnowski, Papp, Decker, Burkhart, Chu, Lowe, Carver, McConey, and Jimmy Green rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. Going to restart on lap 7 here of 75 tonight for race number 2 of round 1 of the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Thank you so much for making the Esports Broadcasting Network part of your night tonight. As the next race up to bat will be here in about a half hour. The KMM New Gen Cup Series will be rolling from their next round here at about 9:20. And then tomorrow night we have round number 2 of the Sim Racing Media Super Late Model AI Series. If you miss round 1 from the bull ring, you're not gonna definitely want to miss round 2, as we had some great action all through the night with the taping for the USA Speedway. As Marcus Adams getting a little antsy there, kind of down on the apron, knows that he's at a little bit of a disadvantage here, especially if we get a long green flag run. Both Adams and Tarnowski both have not come down pit road. Jason Papp pit started, so little bit of different pit strategy starting to play out here as the field works its way out of turn number 4. Defending series champion Marcus Adams has the button. As I'm taking a look at the point standings coming in tonight, James Lowe, with his win last week, guaranteed a berth in round number 2.
Green, green, green.
Jason Papp currently sitting second in points. Joe Gautier, Greg McConey, Logan Rhodes, Marcus Adams, all inside the cutoff. Josh Carver, Brian Tarnowski, both inside the cutoff. Ed DeBoer, Chris Worrell, Jimmy Green, and Nick Wing, all currently on the outside looking in. I'm not going to say they're in must-win situations, but they definitely need big points nights tonight. As we are back underway here, Tarnowski with a good head of steam down the back straightaway. Tarnowski and Decker at the front of this piece. That's the 18 of Brian Chu working with Decker on the top side. Decker with a good head of steam coming through the tri-oval. Tarnowski going to take the low side. Drag race to the stripe. You're going to see Ryan Decker getting that all-important bonus point as he drops down to pick up Tarnowski now on the low side. Tarnowski trying to stay off him. Knows that bump drafting usually doesn't work and definitely will not work in the corners here. Marcus Adams not liking what he's seen in front of him as he peels off. Decker peels off. Getting a little chippy at the front of this piece. It's going to hand the lead of the race over to Brian Chu as he's got Josh Carver all over his back bumper at the front of this piece. Marconi trying to make something happen with DeBoer on the top side as they've got the 13 of McKinney up there for help. Right now, though, Brian Chu leading the piece. Marconi with a good head of steam, 192, 193 miles an hour, coming through the tri-oval at the stripe. Give it to Chu. Marconi gets the lead just going into turn number 1. No bonus point yet for the 12. And the 18, it's kind of negligible because he unfortunately did not make the playoffs. But taking one from Marconi as Chu now with an even better head of steam, as Carver right there pushing the bubble of that car. And that's something we've talked about in the other series where there's two ways to bump draft. One is to push the actual car. The other is to push the bubble that is the aero package around that car. And right now, Carver is pushing that bubble for all he is worth at the front of this piece. Tarnowski right there as well. 3 cars drafting pretty well together on that low side, as they have Jason Papp down there as well. Papp kind of mired in the mid-pack. As McConey trying to get a good run with DeBoer on the top side. They're going to need a little bit more help from the 13 of Adam McKinney to be able to hang on right now, as we are actually going to go on board. We are going to go on board with Jason Papp. This is exactly what Papp is seeing right now. As we see his third lane starting to form up on the top side. That is Decker trying to reel in McConey. Decker with a hell of a head of steam. Almost 200 miles an hour, hauling it off into turn number 3 to reel in his teammate. Something happened with James Lowe. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here to the 99. Oh, he hit something. And that is the 23 of Jimmy Green having issues as well. Looks like him and Lowe got together. You can see all sorts of damage on the 99 as he narrowed that car up by a good 2 feet. Jimmy Green had a hell of a hit too. But we stayed green because that was not in the racing line as Lowe jumps back to the pits. We are back live. That is McConey now at the front of this piece, getting that all-important bonus point for the 12. Ryan Decker up there as well. McConey now jumps up to the top side to try to throw the block on DeBoer. That's going to give Decker the run on the low side as he's got Josh Carver shoving the daylights out of him. And DeBoer going to make it 3 wide going to the trial. McConey hung out to dry. No help for the 12 on the third lane. Cavalry's coming, though. As DeBoer going to lead that one. Decker relegated back to second. DeBoer, Decker, McKinney, Carver, and Gautier round out your top 5 right now as Brian Chu trying to make something happen in the 18 on the low side. The 13 of McKinney getting hung out to dry now in that sucker hole as that is Gautier leading the top line charge with McConey. A little bit of contact as the 13 tried to go low. Unfortunately, got into the side of the got into the side of the 28 of Tarnowski, and he is dropping back. He's got a little bit of left front damage, and that's got to be affecting the aero on that 13 right now. Meanwhile, back up in front, DeBoer showing the way. Carver sitting right there, silently waiting right now. Brian Chu just hanging back, not wanting to get in anybody in the middle of the corner. Jason Papp and Greg McConey running stem to stern right now as Chris Worrell right there as well. Good grief. They're going to make something happen. Papp's going to have to make it happen now. As he's kind of following Chu. McConey going to jump up. And Worrell going to go with the 12. That is the 99 of Lowe as he's already burned his fast repair back out on track. Worrell going to pick up his teammate there for Balls Guarana Racing. Papp looking like he wanted to jump up. Here comes Nick Wing to help McConey out. Coming out of turn number 4, but Ed DeBoer in command of this one right now as he's got Ryan Decker glued to his back bumper. Guys are just picking them up and laying them down right now. And let's take a quick look at the weather. 113 degree track temperature. Good grief. Definitely not something you want to play with too often here. As DeBoer continues to show the way at the front of this piece. Everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's right now as we are working lap 18 of 75. And we did have a caution early on, so we're expecting to see green flag pit stops right around lap 25 to 30. Considering everybody came down to pack those cars full of fuel under the caution. Again, want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. Caitlin Groves, of course, pulling for Decker. Our good buddy Spur Loco checking in. Zach, it's been too long. As McConey now with a good head of steam on the top side. Nose out front coming to the stripe. Give that lap to McConey. And that's Chris Worrell looking to make one coming up through the middle. Oy, that's putting a lot of trust in netcode right there. And it looks like Malagani going to try to help Worrell up through the middle. Thinks better of it. Jumps to the top side to follow the 83 of Posey around. Posey now gets picked up by Joe Gautier on the top side. As we've got 2 3-car tangos going on right now. And that is Nick Wing with a good head of steam coming through the tri-oval. Nose out front coming to the stripe with Tarnowski and Worrell for help. Wing going to lead that lap. All important bonus point for the 90. Gautier now trying to make something happen on the top side. As he and Posey just glued together right now. Worrell pushing Tarnowski up through the middle. Gautier, though, with the nose out front as Tarnowski and Worrell drop down to the low side. Gautier and Posey, great run on the top side. Gautier has a clear, but he's not going to hang his buddy out to dry. It's getting a little bit sketchy coming through with the lap car there on the top side. That was Jimmy Green going another lap down. Right now, though, Gautier with a good head of steam. Give the lap to Gautier at the stripe. Tarnowski got him just past the stripe. And we are watching an absolute slugfest here tonight for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Round number 1, race number 2 of the playoffs. 2 races per round. As now Tarnowski showing the way on the low side. And Brian Chu hung out to dry in the third lane. As that's Gautier and Posey and Mulligani, with Gautier with them. And here comes the 23 of Jimmy Green looking to get his lap back the hard way. The 13 going to go with him. That is Adam McKinney. 3 wide at the front of this piece as they come off of turn number 2. Looks like McKinney did get into the wall. Worrell bails out, thinking all hell was about to break loose. As Posey pinches down on Tarnowski, that's putting a lot of trust in netcode, as we have seen a ton of netcode over the past couple of weeks in the iRacing servers. And you know what that means, folks, for those of you who have been around long enough, that means there's big things coming at the end of Season 2 of the iRacing, which is only about a couple weeks away here. Posey right now showing the way in that middle lane. Mulligani in the double deuce. Right there with him, trying to make something happen as Worrell bails out on the low side again. Not happy with what he was seeing. The 13 of McKinney, second car in the top side, had the nose out front. Posey, though, getting the run. Here comes the double deuce of Mulligani to push him as the 23 of Jimmy Green looking to get one of his laps back the hard way. Currently 1 lap down is the 23. In the free pass position as we've got 17 cars still on the lead lap. Throw a blanket over all 17 as you can see him pretty much running stem to stern. Defending series champion Marcus Adams just kind of content to ride back there with Dusty Burkhart in the 69. Chris Worrell drops back. See how long it's going to take him to get to the front of this piece. As Shane Posey continues to show the way up front. And here comes James Lowe to try to get his lap back the hard way. Lowe and Pap working together quite well on the top side. As Lowe unfortunately had to burn his fast repair for tearing the suspension off the car after contact with Green. Lowe going to drop down behind the 23 of Green. Down the back straightaway they come. As that is James Lowe leading the charge on the top side. 2 laps down right now. He's got Pap and Brian Chu in tow. Coming into the trial, we'll put lap 25 in the books. This race going by incredibly quickly. And now you can get your hate mail coming. That's Tony Trapasso, care of ESBN Towers, Syracuse, New York, P.O. Box OU812. I know I just jinxed the field. So Lowe now leading the lane on the low side. So Lowe going to get one of his laps back should we see that dreaded caution flag. As Pap not getting the help from Brian Chu he's going to need to get that nose out front. Coming into tonight, second place in points. Relatively safe, just needs a decent finish to cinch his berth into round number 2 of the playoffs. Does the number 1. James Lowe, by virtue of his win last week, just looking to play spoiler here tonight. Doesn't need to win. It doesn't need a second win to get in. He's already got that win under his belt to move on. As they are fast approaching Jonathan Christian in the 36 with a good head of steam. He's going to stay to the top side to get out of the way. And I don't think the 23 realizes what he's doing. Oh, 4 wide.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yep. Figured that was going to happen. Let's watch that again. There they are screaming by the lap car. Keep your eye on the 79. As the 36 just comes down, clobbers the 13, clobbers the 3. The 3 gets run over from behind. So there's the 36 on the top side. Got shoved up there. And then all hell breaks loose as he gets sprung off the wall by the safer barrier. Working caution number 2 here tonight. Second caution that the 36 has brought out. As we are going to go back live. Shane Posey leading this piece. We are going to step away and pay a few bills. We will be back right after this.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Some amazing looking cars already. Green flag on the fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. And we are back from Talladega for the ROWDY Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Playoff round number 1, race number 2. Shane Posey winning the battle off pit road. James Lowe electing to stay out to get back on the lead lap, as there he goes as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Posey, Tarnowski, Chu, Burkhart, Carver, Gautier, McKinney, Papp, Green, and Marcus Adams round out your top 10 as we get ready to turn them back loose. Working lap 30 of 75. We do need to thank our good friends at ROWDY Energy, Circle B Diecast, without whom none of this broadcast would be possible, Midwest Motor Customs, iRacing, iFlag, and our very good friends at Buttkicker. Posey has the button as the field worked its way down the back straightaway behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. And for some odd reason, Chris Worrell saying, sorry, Chris, we don't know what for, because I haven't seen you do anything wrong yet tonight, sir. As Posey and Tarnowski make up that front row as we get ready to go back to green. Let's take a quick look at Dusty Burkhart's car. Tribute to all 5 of the armed forces. Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines. And the United States Air Force. As the pace truck makes that lazy left turn down below the mustard stripe. Posey has the button as the field works its way into the Geico restart zone as they go through the tri-oval. Here we go to put lap 30 in the books of 75.
Green, green, green.
Green flag comes out and we are back underway. Quite a line lined up on the top side as we now have 19 cars on the lead lap. The only one who started the race that is not on the lead lap is the 36 of Christian, as he has decided to put it on the hauler and call it a night here. And, you know, this is something you hear us mention time and time again with this series. It's not that common to see this much skill on super speedways week in and week out. You know, with a lot of drivers saying, "Oh yeah, no, I'm good on super speedways," Yeah, you think you're good till you show up to a series like this, where these guys race stem to stern, side by side, 2 and 3 wide, all night long. And we're only working caution number 2, and it was because of the same car both times. And he is no longer in the session, so I would expect us to have a decent run here coming up, as Brian Tarnowski in the 28 showing the way on the low side. It's going to give Brian Chu the clean air on the top side, as he's not getting a ton of help right now, unfortunately. As the 69 of Dusty Burkhart jumps up in front of Chu. Now they use that 2-car tango to try to make something happen on Tarnowski. Give the lap to Tarnowski, though. Tarnowski coming into tonight at the cutoff. Doesn't need to win, but does need a good points night to move on to the round of 8 next week. As we are again 3 wide. That is Jimmy Green, who just got back on the lead lap. This is getting interesting. As Tarnowski has Gautier behind him. Dusty Burkhart has Brian Chu with him. And the 23 has the 24 of DeBoer with him on the third lane. And they also have the 14 of Logan Rhodes up there as well. Not able to make anything happen yet. They're going to have to get a little bit more organized. As Greg McConey jumps out of line, Nick Wing going with him on the top side. As there goes Burkhart to drop down in front of Tarnowski and gets turned right in front of the field. Oh, my Lanta. As we are going to go see what that actually looked like. And we are going to back this up, and I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as my SDK is not playing nicely with me, as we're going to take a look at what did happen there. You see the 69 of Burkhart. Keep your eye on him. And we are going to go up to the chopper to see what did happen up here. There's the 69 as he drops down. Tarnowski just gets into the back of him, and just everybody goes. Oh, what a shot Worrell just took. Oh, the carnage. Well then, that was a thing. As I dare say, we are going to see wholesale pit stops. Brian Tarnowski, the only one not involved in that, does elect to stay out. You can see the heavy damage on the 3 of McConey. Everybody else came down pit road as everybody else caught a piece of that incident. A lot of drivers going to have to burn their fast repair here if they haven't already. And it looks like everybody burning their fast repair there. Wow. That was definitely a shot, that's for sure. Tarnowski, the only one to escape that without any damage. Caitlin, it's okay. I believe that your driver, yes, there he is. Safe and sound, back in a clean car. So that'll make Caitlin Groves happy. Unfortunately, Jason Papp, I believe, already burned his fast repair. As did Chris Worrell, the 23 of Jimmy Green, who's going to spend an extended amount of time on pit road here. Worrell now down and away. He is able to stay on the lead lap, though. Just barely. As he just got out in front of that pace car. Well, that goes back to what we were talking about during the pre-race, is the front and rear bumpers of these cars don't line up. And you can't cut it that close anymore with this car. You really can't bump draft in this car at all, because it'll just unload the front car if you get hit in the bumper. Solely because if you put a bumper to somebody, you're basically hitting them in the gas tank, and it's very easy to lift the front car's rear wheels off the ground, and next thing you know, well, Doc, the last thing I remember was Dirt Sky, Dirt Sky, Dirt Sky, Pretty Nurse. Tarnowski, Gautier, Posey, Rhodes, Decker, Carver, Chu, Lowe, McKinney, and DeBoer rounding out your top 10. Again, everybody but Brian Chu having to burn their fast repair because of that accident. Everybody except Brian Tarnowski having to burn their fast repair from that incident. That was a wild one for sure. Getting ready to go into the second half of this race. Working lap 37 of 75 here tonight. We'll be halfway at the line. As Tarnowski going to have the button. There you see defending series champion James Lowe down on the apron trying to save a little bit of fuel. Pace truck peels on off to drop down below that yellow mustard line. As Tarnowski now has the button. As we roll into the tri-oval, Tarnowski, a little bit of a gap off of Shane Posey. Joe Gautier on the top side has the 14 of Logan Rhodes up there with him. As the green flag comes back out, Tarnowski pulls the trigger. And we are back underway. Gautier with a pretty decent run right now. As in the back of the pack, that's McConey and McConey and Worrell hooking up with each other. Trying to walk their way back to the front of this piece. Gautier, though, with a good head of steam on the top side. Brian Chu bails out going down the back straightaway. Not happy at all with what he was seeing up there with how chippy it was getting. And Worrell already on the back of the 22, working the top side all by his lonesome. As right now, Logan Rhodes with the nose out front coming into the stripe. Gauthier tries to battle back. Drag race to the line. Give it to Gauthier by a fender. Logan Rhodes, though, good run at the front of this piece. Going to have another shot at it coming down the back straightaway. He's got his help. And now gets the clear to go to the low side. As that was the 33 of Carver up on the top side. Gauthier, though, with a good run on the top lane. Able to hold court over Rhodes. Gauthier going to drop down, thinks better of it, doesn't exactly have the clear. Rhodes, though, with a good head of steam coming out of two. A little bit of a gap back to Brian Tarnowski. This could end poorly. Rhodes, though, keeps his foot glued to the floorboard, though. Leading that bottom lane. Gauthier on the top side. No real help from Carver for Gauthier. Tarnowski doing what he can to try to stay off the 14 and not hit him. Gauthier, though, shot out of a cannon coming off a 4 on the top side. And he does get the clear coming through the tri-oval. Drops down in front of Rhodes. Rhodes goes up to the top side now. Picking up the 33 of Carver. Rhodes now getting a good shove from Carver, coming through 1 and 2. They got the 24 DeBoer up there with them, so 3 teammates running stem to stern in that top lane. Make that 4 teammates as they've got Jimmy Green up there with them. Rhodes, though, able to try to duplicate what Gauthier was doing on the previous couple of laps, keeping it wound up in that second lane. Gonna get a little bit of help from Carver coming into the tri-oval. Rhodes with the nose out front. Give the lap to the 14. That's an all-important bonus point as he was coming into tonight tied for 4th in points with the 12 of McConey. Both those guys needing good points nights to move on. Rhodes, Gauthier, Carver, Tarnowski, DeBoer, Posey, Green, Lowe, Worrell, and Malagani round out your top 10. Little bit of separation starting to form between Ryan Decker and Richard Malagani. There you see Malagani as the tail end. I'm sorry, between Decker and Adams, there's a little bit of separation starting to form. As that is Chris Worrell all by his lonesome on the top lane. No help for the 6 right now. Using a little bit of side draft and a little bit of strategery. Good head of steam coming down the back straightaway, though. And here comes the cavalry as Jason Papp and Ryan Decker both jumping up to help the 6. Carver, though, now shows the way on the in the middle lane. As he has DeBoer and the 23 of Green working with him. Decker and Worrell have worked well most of this season. And give it to Carver at the stripe by about half a car. Working lap 45 of 75. Round number 1, race number 2 for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series here on the Esports Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Friday evening. As Worrell going to make a big swing going down to the low side. Not wanting to flirt with that wall any further. That's going to leave Pap and Decker alone on the top lane. Second lane, though, seems to be working well and seems to be where you want to be currently. Oh, hang on to her. And somebody needs to dig Adam McKinney's head out of his own butt. Because he wasn't clear and went down into Worrell. And this is getting ridiculous because it's about the fourth week in a row we've seen the same crap happen with the same driver. Anybody want to tell Adam McKinney he's not Dale Earnhardt Sr.? Okay, rant over. As that is Jason Papp and Greg McConey going up to the top side. McKinney jumps up to try to throw the block. And as I'm looking through the Discord server, it's going to be kind of hard to kind of defend right now. As I'm counting 2, 4, 6 drivers and a spotter for Rev E Motorsports. And no other team out on track has anything higher than 4. So, yeah, that's a thing. I mean, I'm all for teamwork, but there's a point. Everybody has their breaking point. As it is a jumbled mess at the front of this piece. Gautier and Tarnowski working together in the middle lane. The 14 of Logan Rhodes jumps down to pick them up. Hangs the 13 out to dry. Place your bets, folks. How long do we see it before the 13 causes a wreck tonight? Place your bets. As we're working lap 48 of 75 here tonight. Jason Papp dropping down in front of Chris Worrell, as those two have worked well together most of the season. Gautier jumps up to the outside lane to work his way around the 14 of Logan Rhodes. It's going to give a 13 the run up through the middle as he's going to reel in the 14 of Rhodes. As the 33 of Carver continues to show the way on the bottom lane. He's got DeBoer with him right there in the 24. Ryan Decker kind of following Nick Wing right now. Just trying to stay out of trouble as we are fast approaching 25 to go. We'll be 26 at the stripe. Worrell trying again to make it a third lane. He's going to work to the top side on Gautier. Drops down in front of the 67 to get behind the 13. And there is no love lost between the 6 and the 13, so fireworks are coming. I can feel it. As Rhodes getting a good shove from the 13 of McKinney right now as they work that second lane. Worrell, the only other one up there with them. Gautier is dropped back to the low side. Here comes Pap to try to help out Worrell on the middle lane. As Logan Rhodes going to come across the stripe with a car length to the good. Give the lap to the 14 of Logan Rhodes. Quality young man. His parents raised him right. That's for damn sure. As he holds a nice and tidy line down the back chute. Worrell looks to the inside of the 13. 13 looks to be about as stable as my X. As now Carver and Rhodes, drag race coming through the tri-oval. Rhodes with the advantage coming out into the stripe. Just past halfway. 26 laps to go. Working lap 52 of 75 here tonight from Talladega. Round number 1, race number 2 of the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series playoffs. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight for this one for the Esports Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. And if you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to get shared on someone's homepage of, hey, you might like to see this. Do need to thank our good friends at Circle B Diecast for all your diecast needs. ROWDY Energy, awesome beverages over there. Many of them sugar-free. Most of them sugar-free, actually. Midwest Motor Customs for all your iRacing paint needs. iRacing, iFlag, and Buttkicker for bringing tonight's broadcast to you. Logan Rhodes continues to show the way on the top side as McKinney is somehow hanging on to the 13 as they work their way through the 3-4 complex. Now Carver comes back on the low side with help from DeBoer in the 24. Drag race coming into the tri-oval. Rhodes with the nose out front this time. Give another lap to Rhodes as we are fast approaching money stop time, ladies and gentlemen. Last time everybody was down pit road was lap 35. And we were saying somewhere around 25 laps is about all you're going to be able to get out of a tank of Go Fast here tonight. At least I believe that's what I was told. Yes, 75% fuel fill. So about 25-ish laps is about all you're going to be able to get here tonight, and we are fast approaching that number. The question is, who's going to be the first one to flinch and who's going with them? As Worrell and Pap have both shown tonight that you can make some headway through this field. Unfortunately, Jason Pap, a couple of laps down after getting involved in that second melee. Actually, he is 2 laps down. But working with the 6 of Chris Worrell right now, trying to make something happen. And we've got some takers coming pit side. Posey, Gautier, Malagani, and Tarnowski all coming to pit. As Worrell and Pap look to make a third lane. The 14 tries to pinch him up. Worrell stays out of the wall. Keeps a good head of steam coming down the backstretch. He's got 3 cars for help. That is Brian Chu behind Pap, trying to help Worrell. Those 2 drivers teammates in the ISNF Sunday Night Fever NASCAR series that you can watch this coming weekend. on the Esports Broadcasting Network. That broadcast scheduled to roll off at 5:30 Eastern Time this coming Sunday. Final race of the season for them at Pocono. As Wing, Decker, Hoytsma, and McConey peel off to go pit side. And from the looks of it, we got some speeders down pit road. Shane Posey popped for speeding. Richard Mulligani popped for speeding. Brian Tarnowski popped for speeding. That's no bueno, especially on the money stop. That's going to put them at least one lap down here. Oh, no. Wing, McConey, and Decker popped for speeding on as well. Oh, no. When it goes wrong, it goes very wrong here, as we are 18 laps to go. Josh Carver showing the way on the low side. He's got his teammate Ed DeBoer with him there. Jimmy Green up there as well as Chris Worrell and Brian Chu trying to make something happen on the top side. Looks like it was a fuel-only stop for all those guys that did get popped for speeding, though. Worrell with a good head of steam coming through the tri-oval by a fender. Give it to Carver. Worrell trying to make something happen on that top side. He's got his good friend Brian Chu with him. And Jason Papp there as well, although Papp is in 18th, a lap down. We are going to go on board again with Jason Papp. This is exactly what the chief cook and bottle washer for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series is seeing right now. You can also see the back of the 14 of Logan Rhodes there in shot. And I think that says it all. Freedom isn't free. Again, I just want to remind everybody that, again, this coming holiday weekend is not really a holiday in the sense of it's a celebration. It's a day of remembrance for those brave men and women who wrote a check that was up to and including the cost of their own life so that we can maintain the freedoms that we hold dear in this country. There is the 14 of Logan Rhodes representing the United States Air Force here tonight. Carver, though, in the Budweiser scheme, showing the way. And the question is, 15 laps to go, how much longer are they going to be able to stay out as Worrell, Adams, Lowe, and Burkhart all peel off. Brian Chu going with them. And that was Jason Papp taking a ride through the grass. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened with Papp here. And we're not going to be able to. Let's find out. There it is. Let's try this again. This is Jason Papp coming into pit. bangs the wall, goes into the grass, and we're going to see more speeding penalties, folks. As we go back live, Adams popped speeding, Burkhart popped, Worrell, Chu all popped for speeding, Jason Papp popped for unsafe pit entry. Strict pit road here tonight. 13 laps to go. And you got to wonder when Carver, DeBoer, Green, Rhodes, and McKinney are all going to come down pit side. And is anybody going to get a clean money stop in? So far, the answer is a resounding no. Tarnowski trying to get his lap back the hard way on the top side. No help, though. He does have the 67 of Joe Gautier with him. Gautier right now leading the lap down cars. Tarnowski is a lap down to his teammate. Again, Tarnowski coming in tonight on the bubble in the 8th spot in points. And this might have cost him a shot at it might have cost him a shot at getting on to the next round with that speeding penalty. As here comes Carver, DeBoer, Green, Rhodes, and McKinney. And it looks like these guys were extra careful coming onto pit road to not get popped. Now the question is, can Gautier and Tarnowski get back around? And the answer is a definite maybe. Gautier is the only one of the group that pitted earlier who didn't get a speeding penalty. Unfortunately, though, not a ton of help, as he only has his teammate Brian Tarnowski with him. Carver down and away, Green, DeBoer, Rhodes, and McKinney all down and away cleanly. As we are currently on 11 to go, there's Brian Chu getting back on the lead lap, but for how long? As you can see, the peloton is right there going through 3 and 4. Carver has Jimmy Green all on him. It'll be 10 to go at the stripe. Carver, Green, DeBoer, Rhodes, McKinney, your top 5. Gautier, McConey, Worrell, Decker, and Adams round out your top 10 here tonight. They are trying to make something happen. Carver picking up the draft from Chu. Chu getting up out of the way. He knows he's a lap car. A little bit of a 4-car tango going on at the front of this piece. And that is Carver, Green, DeBoer, and Rhodes. Your top 4. Then you've got Brian Chu, who's a lap car. And then you're almost 5 seconds back to the 13 of Adam McKinney. Nine to go now, as we are going to check back with that second group. That is Gautier and Tarnowski looking to pick up Jason Papp to get a 3-car tango going to try to reel in that lead group. They are fast approaching McKinney. And here you see McKinney going into 3. So Gautier could come out of here with a top 5. It's looking like that is possible. And then we're back to the peloton, which that's Adams and Worrell going side by side. Dusty Burkhart is there with Worrell on the top side. Greg McConey trying to help Adams on the low side as Worrell drops down to pick up those guys down on the low side. And that's Decker, Posey, and Malagani on the top side. Eight laps to go, and we're going to try to stay on the air as long as we can tonight post-race to find out who is going to transfer on to the round of 8 next week back at Daytona in the Xfinity car. No, I'm sorry, in the next-gen car next week at Daytona. The races left in the season, round number 2 will be the next-gen car at Daytona. Then 2 weeks from now, Talladega in the Xfinity car. Then we cut heads at Talladega, of course. Then we will go to Daytona under the lights in the next-gen car. Talladega in the trucks, where we will cut heads again, which will lead us into the championship round of 4 at Daytona in the Xfinity car. Still a ton of racing left here this season for the Rowdy Energy Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Again, want to thank everybody for joining us tonight in the live chat. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. Brenda Thomas, thank you so much for checking in. As there is Logan Rhodes trying to hang in there for Nana. Coming in tonight, tied for 4th place in points. So with a 4th place finish here tonight, should clinch himself a second round playoff berth. Carver, Green, DeBoer, and Rhodes running stem to stern right now with the lap car of Brian Chu. 6 laps to go. It'll be 5 to go at the stripe. And as a matter of fact, we are going to go on board with Logan. This is what he sees. Monteagle, Tennessee native. Currently sitting in the number 4 position on track. As we are going to go back to outside the cars. 4 to go at the stripe. As Gautier and company have caught the 13 of McKinney. So they're now 10.5 seconds to the drift of that lead group of cars. Kind of maintaining that. But they are pulling a gap, the second group right here. Gautier and McKinney, the only two actually for position, as Tarnowski and Papp are both multiple laps down. But they are starting to pull a gap on that third group, being led right now on the low side by Chris Worrell, as Marcus Adams working the top side with Shane Posey and Greg McConey. I don't think the fireworks are done here yet tonight at Talladega, folks. And there it goes. Worrell got shuffled out. As we are going to, as soon as I can find it, let's take a look at what happened here pick it up from the chopper. That's not what I wanted. All right, my SDK decided to throw up on me. Awesome. There's Wing just getting into the back of Worrell. Shuffled him out a little bit. We stay green though. We are now back live. Carver continues to show the way. Popsicle sticks in the air. They've got to make it back to the start-finish line for us to race back to checkers. Coming into the tri-oval now. We are racing back to checkers just like that. Carver, Green, DeBoer, and Rhodes trying to settle it out amongst themselves as they come down the back straightaway with a good head of steam. Green looks to the outside. Carver almost gets hung out to dry. The 24 DeBoer goes with Green. Carver now has Rhodes and Chu with him on the low side. Coming through 3 and 4 with a good head of steam. This is for the race win. Carver with the nose out front. Green on the top side trying to make it happen. And coming to the stripe. Give it to Carver. Logan Rhodes coming home in second. Jimmy Green hanging on for third. Ed DeBoer crosses in fourth. There is Joe Gautier going to cross for fifth. Adam McKinney crosses for fifth. Joe Gautier crosses for sixth. Here comes the battle for the rest of the top 10. Nick Wing with the nose out front. Posey trying to make it happen. Seventh goes to Posey. Eighth for Wing. Malagani. Greg McConey grabbing the last spot in the top 10. Marcus Adams, Ryan Decker, Dusty Burkhart, Chris Worrell rounding out your lead lap cars in 14th. As we are, as soon as I can figure out where I need to be, there it is. We are actually going to reach out now to the man driving the 33 here tonight, doing his victory donuts. Josh Carver, Princeton, Wisconsin, being proud of you tonight, sir.
Princeton, West Virginia.
Or
West Virginia.
West Virginia, I'm sorry. I do apologize for making that mistake.
Oh, you're all right.
West by God, Virginia, I might say.
There you go.
That's better. But, Josh, talk us through just how difficult it was to make any headway here tonight.
It was a little difficult there. When you got a team like Rev, though, man, I'll tell you, it makes it a lot easier. I mean, it was bittersweet. We put the ass kicking on them on this race. It just played out perfect for us. It couldn't have done any better.
Absolutely. And talk us through that money stop. Did you know that everybody else throughout the field had gotten popped for speeding on?
Yeah, I got a spotter. It's in our ear all the way through the race, and he keeps us informed of that stuff. Jim and John both was keeping us informed on what was going on right there.
So you guys were a little extra cautious coming on the pit road, and it really paid off for you.
You're exactly right.
So, Josh, you just punched your ticket into round number 2 of the playoffs. What are your thoughts as we will be back here next week, going to Daytona? Where are we here? Daytona in the next-gen cars.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We do real good at Daytona, too. So, yeah, it ought to be good. The Rev team, we're hitting on all cylinders right now, man. I mean, you've seen it tonight. That was huge. I think we had, 10, 11 seconds on the rest of the field. Restricted plate, that's amazing.
Let me take a quick look here. 9.83.
9.83. See, that's
your other teammate, Adam McKinney.
Ah, okay. So see, I mean, Rev's
So
hitting on all cylinders right now, man.
a,
We come
a,
out here and
a
put it
top
down.
a top 5 sweep for Rev E Motorsports.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That shows what the team's all about right there. Jimmy Green, Ed DeBoer, Logan Rhodes, Adam McKinney, Jonathan Christian. I mean, we put it on them.
Who else do you need to thank before we turn you loose tonight to go celebrate?
Well, I want to thank Rick's R&R. If you're in the Princeton, West Virginia area, be sure and look it up on the Facebook there. If you need any construction work done, he does some of the best work in Princeton, Bluefield area. I want to give a shout out to Jessica's Members Only Bingo. It's the support she puts in. Also got to thank Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, iRacing Flag, Buttkicker, Midwest Motor Customs, and most of all, I want to thank Rev E Motorsports, man. I tell you, we're really starting to put it down. I don't know if we can be beat.
All right, Josh Carver, congratulations on the win here tonight at Talladega. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You have a good one.
So that was our race winner, Josh Carver. And joining us now is going to be the pride of Monteagle, Tennessee, Logan Rhodes. You just made your mom and your grandma very happy.
Hey, that's what it's all about, buddy.
Talk us through that early melee that we saw. You did catch a huge piece of that second caution. What was going through your mind when that popped off?
Oh, lock it down. That was it. And I just locked down the brakes, and to beat it all, like I said, I come down and got 4 tires, and then, to be honest with you, I was lighting a cigarette, took it to the wall on my own intent on accident, and used my fast repair right there. So I had to be a little cautious the rest of the race.
Well, cautious you were. Is coming into the money stop. You guys at Rev had to have a live spotter tonight to know that the entirety of the rest of the field got popped for speeding on for their money stop.
Yeah, we caught word that a couple guys had a couple unsafe pitch entrances, a couple speeders. So they definitely liked our chances right there. They were catching us toward the end there, cutting a couple tenths off. But as long as we had that clean air out front, you can't beat these 4 out front. You can't do it.
Absolutely. Logan, we go into the next-gen car at Daytona next week. What are your thoughts going into that one?
Hey, I like the next-gen cars, bud. I really do. I'm just glad that we're moving on to the next round. That's our focus, one race at a time. We all understand the bigger picture. But we're definitely going to celebrate this one tonight.
All right, Logan, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Oh, buddy, I got a list of them. First off, I got to thank God for giving me the opportunity and the ability to come out here and do this. I want to thank my beautiful girlfriend at home, Ashley. She lets me do this also. I got to thank my mom, my nana, my dad, my uncle, my stepmom, all my guys at Rev. I cannot thank them enough. And then I want to thank the sponsors, the Circle B Diecast, ROWDY Energy, iRacing, iFlag, Buttkicker, Midwest Motor Customs. The job that you guys do here on the broadcast is killer. I want to thank Pap and McConey and all the guys at the iRacing East Series.
All right, Logan Rhodes, congratulations on the podium. Congratulations on making it to round number 2 of the playoffs. We will see you next week at Daytona.
All right, buddy, rev up, hammer down.
And joining us now is going to be the third member of Rev E Motorsports, and that is the 23 of Jimmy Green. And Jimmy, you had a pretty tumultuous night here tonight. Went a lap down early and was able to get it back. What was going through your head when that happened?
I was just tired of playing around with these guys, so I was going back up there to get my lap back. Car wasn't really damaged. Even that last little incident didn't damage the car too bad. I had 3 minutes repairs, and it was still going fast. So we just wanted to send a message to these guys in this league, let them know Rev ain't messing around no more. Tired of the crying, and we're here to win.
Fair enough. Well, you did punch your ticket into the next round of the playoffs via your points finish here tonight. What are your thoughts going into the next-gen race next week at Daytona?
I'm looking forward to it. I love the next-gen cars. Love Daytona. Of course, Talladega is my favorite, but we'll be back here again for another elimination and get rid of some more of these guys.
Very much so. Before we turn you loose, though, who do you need to thank?
Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, iRacing, iFlag, Buttkicker, and Midwest Motor Customs. I got to thank my Rev guys putting in the work every week like they do. That was why we're number one.
All right. We will see you next week at Daytona, sir. Best of luck to you then.
You too.
So, I know everybody's wondering exactly who finished where, and I do have the names of the drivers that did transfer. Joe Gautier, Logan Rhodes, Josh Carver, James Lowe, Marcus Adams, Jason Papp, Greg McConey, and Ed DeBoer getting the final transfer spot into round number 2 of the playoffs. Jimmy Green, Brian Tarnowski, Chris Worrell, and Nick Wing all eliminated here this evening. So, taking a quick look at our finishing order. Let me take that off the screen. That's not what I wanted. Josh Carver, Logan Rhodes, Jimmy Green coming home on the podium. Ed DeBoer, Joe Gautier, Adam McKinney, Shane Posey, Nick Wing, Richard Malagani, and Greg Marconi rounding out your top 10. Marcus Adams coming home in 11th. Ryan Decker hanging on for 12th. Dusty Burkhart and Chris Worrell, the last cars being scored on the lead lap, in 14th. Brian Chu in 15th. First car one or more laps down. Brian Tarnowski, Jason Papp, and James Lowe putting it on the hauler early, as well as Dave Hoitzma, Jonathan Christian, and Brandon Wilson did not start. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for round number 2 of the Sim Racing Media Super Late Model AI Series, as they go to round number 2 at USA Speedway down in Lakeland, Florida. For all of the cast and crew here at ESBN, this is Tony Trapassa reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe weekend this weekend, please. And as you walk down the road of life, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.